Welcome back to the next episode in the Grey Matters podcast. Hasn't Mkhwanazi been in the news? He's certainly captured the hearts and the minds of a super weary public, restoring hope for the ordinary South African citizen, just like you and me. What we can hope for and pray for is that the truth will come out about the South African politics, the judiciary, and the links between these drug cartels that have been bandied around, the criminal underworld, and elements within the judicial system, but also in the police. Go figure, those people that are meant to be looking after us. Mkhwanazi is standing super tall at the moment, above any politician in South Africa right now, I would say, besides the ones that he's calling out, perhaps, showing true integrity and character and honesty, and this is something that we need. In South Africa, we suffer under leaders that show anything but. The cadres, the politicians, the civil servants, the top execs and the journalists who act as if everyone else is stupid. We need honest and upright people in this country, in business, and leaders of position, willing to sacrifice and serve and show courage. That's what leaders do. They serve. They serve us. The leaders should be serving us as the citizens of this country, have our best interests at heart. So finally, it appears that we have someone that's prepared to stand up, put his head above the parapet and take some shots and speak the truth. There's been much excitement about his Big Five announcement, I suppose. Number one, Katie Molefe, Katiso Molefe. Next one was Vusi Musi Kat Matlala. Police contract awarded to the tune of 360 million bucks. Where's all this money coming from? And where is it going? And what are they doing with the proceeds? Mamela, Cyril's nephew, the one who we've spoken about, and you've seen tons in the news of late about the Lamborghini, those blue Lamborghinis, and his lush and plush home in Sandton, probably paid for by taxpayers' money. TBD, we will find out. It's great that all this is being exposed, and we can't take any of this away from Mkhwanazi. Can you believe today, Wednesday, the 15th of October, 2025, Anno Domini, Ramaphosa now admits he knows nephew Mamela. What a plonker. Why would you say you don't know the guy? He's your family, for goodness sakes. Doesn't matter that it's from a family of a divorced wife from some years ago. Gosh, where's your heart? What culture is this that you're talking about? What crap is this that you're talking about, actually? I just wonder if there's any connections between the president that have now come to light that has assisted in amassing this wealth that Mamela has. I think we're only scratching the surface here. I think a lot more is going to be uncovered, a lot more is going to be found, and so it should. The problem I have with Mamela in particular is that, in essence, the Tembisa hospital scam has resulted in victims dying for Lamborghinis. And isn't that just a horrible thing? Over 2 billion rand that was meant for patient care, for doctors, to give these people hope and life and operations and medicines and the care that they so need, was stolen through a web of fraudulent contracts, kickbacks, corrupt syndicates. The reality is that every cent that was stolen has put someone's life at risk. This money has to be recovered, but more importantly, these lives that have been lost need to be accounted for, and it's on the back of these punks that are sitting in these places, these tenderpreneurs that are raking in the money that they perhaps shouldn't be getting, squandering, defrauding the South African public, the people that need it the most. For me, alarm bells should go off in your head, ding, 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 when politicians live in a manner above their pay grade. Their friends and their family members and all that from all those lucrative contracts that they've been getting. Deputy President Paul Mashatile has recently received a 10,000 Rand fine for not declaring a diamond gift from some time back. It took him 2 years to declare he had 2 luxury properties, one in Cape Town and one in Johannesburg. I think the value of them was around 65 million Rand. How is this paid for by the declared income of a government official earning a government salary? Even if it is $1 million or $2 million a year, do the math. If you earn $2 million a year and you've got houses to the value of 65 million, that is probably in the order of 120,000 Rand a month in bond repayments. But we'll leave that there. There's a few other little nigglies here, nonetheless. Spiraling crime in South Africa has now been the manner and the norm for many, many years. It should have been under control by now, for sure. Why not? Because the root of this evil, more recently led to believe, is based on crime intelligence and the Crime Intelligence Unit that has been run seemingly for the past 20 years by criminals and been broken by these same criminals. Corruption. The core of this all being, and here's the thing, a 600 million Rand per annum taxpayer funded slush fund. Money that, can you believe, is meant to be paying informers that give information to the police and officials in the CI, Criminal Investigation Unit, CIU, that enables them to intercept criminals and arrest criminals. They've put a slush fund together of 600 million Rand per annum. Incidentally, 12 years ago or so, this figure of 600 million Rand used to be 98 million Rand. So in the last 12 years, it has increased by 500%. Where did the cost of living go up? How's this money justified? The mind boggles, but the smart minds will use their grey matter. By the way, the senior officials have been seen often at the Oyster Box in Mkhwanazi, an exquisite and super expensive hotel right on the beach in Mkhwanazi. I've been there recently for a business lunch and I wouldn't pay. I was invited there by some business people. We had a lunch before going to a business meeting. It is super awesome. It is super lush. The white and red sort of decor that they have on the veranda and the pool area is just really top-notch, super classy. Inside the bars and the restaurant and the furniture and the decor is superb. Be that as it may, last year, out of this slush fund, 600 million Rand slush fund, 120 million Rand was spent on buying properties. Properties owned and bought by the Criminal Investigation Unit and sold at the asking price. Now, please tell me, in this economy of ours, you put your house on the market for $1 million or $2 million. What are the chances you're going to get your asking price? Mind boggles, right? This is not a buyer's market. This is not a seller's market. This is a buyer's market. If the people, it doesn't matter what the market. Last year, 120 million Rand was spent on properties and sold at the asking price that the people wanted. Now go and ask yourself a question. You put your house on the market, or your property or your business on the market. Stick to your house on the market for, say, $2 million. What are the chances you're going to get the price that you think it's worth, that you want for the deal? Doesn't happen. Not in this economy, not in this market that we find ourselves in at the moment. Yet, the properties that were bought were given and purchased for the seller's asking price. In a country where the property market has all but collapsed currently. Never Are they supposed to buy properties with the slush fund money anyway? So now the CIU has become a property investor, a property managing company for rental money as well. Yeah. Previously, the praised Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and the Deputy Police Minister Shadrach Sibia have also been put on the spotlight more recently. So we're waiting to see what comes out of the woodwork there. So Senzo Mchunu, who has been, for what it's worth, on special leave, garden leave, following Mkhwanazi's claims that he's been made recently, he's going to be facing the ad hoc committee, the Parliament's ad hoc committee, real soon. They're going to be investigating the claims of political interference and SAPS police corruption, and he's going to be given a chance to give his side of the story. Oh gosh, and are we all going to be listening to that? Some have said that Mkhwanazi has somewhat of a cult following right now, these days, since he put his head above the parapet in July. Having a cult status means that you have very passionate followers who are intensely devoted to you. And I think that's probably true if you keep your eye on social media and with the things that are going on and what people are saying on Facebook and Instagram and X and all these kind of things. He comes across super well, Mkhwanazi does. He's measured, he's calm, he's humble. He may be doing an awesome job in some aspects, calling out the rot and the corruption that has been. But did you know that last year in June timeframe, Mkhwanazi bought a company? As a government official, he bought a company called Dream Deal Trading and Investments. That's not all. He bought it from someone that was convicted as being a fraudster back in 2009, a long time ago, but still, from that person. So what is this all about? How does a career cop need a company? How does a career cop afford to buy a company? Now, I'm not sure what the price is, but this, soos my boeties sê, dit gaan my gat te bowe. I wonder if the Atlanga ad hoc committee is aware of this yet. I'm sure they are, because I know about it. And where are all the relating questions for him at his next sitting about this company and how the heck can you afford it? And why do you need it? And why have you actually got it? Did you declare it? No, we can speak about others not declaring gifts and facing fines. He's got a company. I wonder if that was declared and who approved it, actually. Another topic with Mkhwanazi is that he's recently taken issue with one Paul O'Sullivan, who I follow regularly, especially on the Biz News TV channel and on his own company page. Our incorruptible crime fighter and owner of a business and company called Forensics for Justice. The bigger matter here is that Mkhwanazi sued him for R5 million defamation case, a suit, after very public allegations that have been made. It's like a mudslinging match going on there. Claims, is he clean? Is he a clean guy, Paul O'Sullivan, or is he an agent, as Mkhwanazi has attested to, not attested to, has suggested, put it out there in any event. So what is an agent even? I suppose time will tell. If he's clean, why does he do what he does? Why is he this? I mean, this is his business. He doesn't hail from South Africa, he's from overseas, and he's an investor in our country. So, you know, these questions have been asked, but what the heck, why not? If he's an agent, guys, then who's he working for? Here's what Mkhwanazi said. He says, if the government fails to act on him, being Paul O'Sullivan, the people will take it upon themselves to do something drastic. Now, let me ask another question. What kind of language, what kind of man, what kind of general makes these kind of threats about anybody in our country? A man who is supposed to be upholding the rule of law. Wow. this is going to unfold, and it ain't going to be pleasant, but I've got my eye on it. We'll keep reporting on it. Since he's coming out on the 6th of July, Mkhwanazi seems to be very vocal about many things, but also very quiet about some of the bad stuff that's going on. So things like, remember I mentioned last time about the PKTT, the Police Killing Task Force, and those members soliciting bribes. He knows about this. Why isn't he calling out that stuff? Khumalo sent a friend of his back, Major General, and now to Japan back in the day. These are the things that have been happening in this space. Somebody put some drugs in the Shaba's drink. The Chief Financial Officer in charge of the 600 million rand slush fund, using his funds, these funds, to hire a prostitute who drugged him, putting drugs in his drink. He passed out. The lady left with his cash, a state laptop, and his firearm. He laid a charge, and as it turns out, he's lied in it. He went to sleep with an open window in some hotel, probably, and somebody snuck him and probably stole the stuff. He then enlisted the services of 3 of his fellow cop friends to get the goods back, which they did. I don't know, guys. There's a lot here. There's a lot that still needs to be uncovered, but this are the shenanigans, just on a midweek check-in on the grey matters about what's going on. I'll update you again on Saturday, as has become the norm, Wednesdays and Saturdays for sort of check-in time. But thank you for your ears. Thank you too for the so many people that have sent messages of encouragement to me for the Grey Matters podcast. I started this thing about a month ago on the back of a challenge from Rob Hersoff to say that we need more podcasters, and yeah, I started it because of that challenge, I suppose, but it's not carrying on because of that challenge. It's carrying on because we need to get our heads out the sand. We need to lift our heads. I sometimes feel we're a bunch of ostriches that have got our heads buried in the sand and not paying attention to what's going out there. We've got to make a change. We've got to stand up. We've got to find our voices. We've got to use our voices. We've got to take a stance against the government, the police, the CIU, hear what's coming out, and be a voice to support that here too and no more. South Africa needs better. We deserve better. We deserve better than an ANC, EFF, or MK party political leadership. We need the likes of a DA or a GNU, of similarly like-minded individuals that have got not the lining of your own pockets in mind and at heart, but serving me and you, the public, where the funds from the tax money that we pay gets put to pucker and proper use and not stolen, and buying freaking Lamborghinis and 70 million rand properties in Sanders. Be a nice guy. Play nice. Be nice. Punks out there. Enough. We will continue with the Grey Matters podcast, but thanks to you for the encouragement. God bless you all, and keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars.